Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Nerd and Proud of It, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to talk about my Antiquities collection and about the Brothers about the Brothers War. It's one of those intros again. My German accent is coming through and I can't do anything about it, but please bear with me. No, about the Brothers War as well, folks. Yeah, let's start out with having a look at the collection. I give you an archaeologist, of course. There's one white card missing. I don't know which one because there are only 7 cards of each color here in the Antiquities collection. And yeah, up there Hercules Recall is missing. Unfortunately, that was part of the buy that got lost in the mail. Still pretty mad about it because there were some cool cards in it, like Hercules Recall and Mishra's, a couple of Mishra's factories, Winter as well. Transmute Artifact, Power Artifact, Haunting Winds, Gate to Phyrexia, these kind of cards getting more and more difficult. There are a couple of black cards missing, but oh yeah, the red cards are complete actually, all 7. Shatterstorm is getting quite expensive if you want to have it in near mint. Still missing some green cards, and then we're getting to the Antiquities, to the artifacts already. Oh god. Again, folks, it's been a long day at work. So yeah, bear with me when I stumble across my words, as we do so often. You saw the Candelabra of Taunus there, which you decided I should buy in my second experiment. You decide what I buy. Third one was the Mishra's Workshop. I added this to the collection this week, and a couple of you asked me like, hey, how far are you along with your Antiquities collection? I want to complete it, I'll be honest, and you see a lot of missing cards here, but the heavy hitters are out of the way. So it's, I think the most expensive card I'm still missing is, of course, the Mishra's Factory Winter, but then like stuff like, oh yeah, there it is, the Mishra's Workshop, it's in here. 2 strip mines missing, and all of these cards are like 50-60 bucks, I don't know. Colossus of Sardia still missing, Ivory Tower still missing, and I'm not gonna add all those cards to the screen because you might know them, but yeah, it's getting too much. So I hope I can complete the set this year, and I'm confident I can because all those cards are more or less like less expensive cards or less valuable cards. There's one Argivian Archaeologist missing. I got my playset of the Power Artifacts and actually one extra because back in here in the binder there are my duplicates. Got 3 extra Millstones, so that's a playset. Got 3 extra Crumbles, that's a playset. I'm missing 1 Argivian Archaeologist for a playset, so there's quite some stuff in here. Yeah, the 2 strip mines, Tron lands. Alright folks, you get the picture. There's still some missing, but it's shaping up nicely, so yeah. I honestly believe, and I think I told that story before, when it comes to Brothers War, I honestly believe, of course, it's the war between Urza and Mishra, and the whole storyline goes back to Antiquities, and there's probably a lot of cards we will recognize, and there might be tie-ins, and there might be cool stuff, and I'm not quite sure if that has a heavy effect on Antiquities. People will recognize the set. People will notice the set. Yeah, even cards like this, I have to replace this one. It's very rough around the edges, but the more expensive cards are all near mint, so I particularly bought near mint ones where possible. Maybe a good one or a light played one here and there, but overall more or less near mint. But come back to the Brothers War. I think it will be quite difficult to obtain Antiquities, and it is already quite difficult. Look at Arabian Nights, where the common cards are like 15-20 bucks already. Antiquities is not quite there yet, but it's drifting towards 2 to 5 bucks for the more interesting cards. And the print run of Antiquities is very, very low as well. So yeah, and I like the set. it's one of my favorite sets. Of course, I love Arabian Nights as well, and I personally really like the Dark, but that's a personal thing because I started around the time when the Dark was released, and I actually bought the Dark boosters, and I like Legends a lot as well. The Four Horsemen sets are just iconic. But all in all, folks, yeah, it's time to get Antiquities, and I'm preaching this over and over again. And just have a look at the first spoilers. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any cards yet, but have a look at the artwork here. This looks fantastic, like the mechs, and I think it might be like an armor thing. It might be a reference to a certain card, and that card being the power armor, in my opinion. So you see these mechs here. Might be, might not be. I'm just guessing. I'm not very deep into the lore. I read a couple of books back in the day, and I read a bit here and there, of course, but definitely not the one when it comes to quoting the lore. But might be. I think this might be the power armor. I'll look at the flying things up there, and of course, when you see little flying things, for me, what comes to mind is the Ornithopter. So yeah, that might be a reference to that, and it's the two armies facing off, or it's one army ready to move out the big gate in the back, and there's either Urza or Mishra, the wizard, in the middle here, leading them. So this looks awesome, and I think just look at that other picture of the concept art of the mech. Again, it reminds me a lot of the power armor. And then, of course, just bear with me a little moment longer just to enjoy this artwork, not moving past it too quickly. And of course, we got the last piece of concept art here, which clearly resembles Urza and Mishra facing off against each other. So I honestly am looking forward to this set a lot, basically because Antiquities, let's call it my favorite set. I love Antiquities, and I love the cards, I love the flavor, I love artifact decks and these kind of things. So yeah, it might be the only set I'm buying this year. Only if I have all the heavy hitters I want to get out of the way first. Because I don't think it makes sense to spend money on, and I might stir up resistance here, but I love new stuff, and I love new Magic sets, and I love to buy a couple of boosters here and there, and I love to buy booster boxes and play draft with my friends and so on, but I don't think it makes sense to buy modern product on a larger scale. I saw it with Double Masters too, and I mean, the prices of the sealed boxes are enormous. It's great. It's awesome for everybody who bought them. It's awesome that they will have a good return of their money. I think cards should have value, and newer cards as well, but it's only about the sealed product, and it's not about the single cards. And if I buy a sealed product, then I normally buy it to hold, sell, and buy reserved list cards for that profit I make. And it's not happening too often anymore because I, more or less buy reserved list directly because the rate of return is roughly the same. And I rather get reserved list out of my way because I have the feeling that the card's getting more and more scarce. And at a certain point, you won't be able to choose between booster boxes, collector booster boxes, whatever you buy new, put it in the closet for 5 years, or reserved list cards anymore, because the reserved list cards will be gone. And I am talking about the high-end stuff, or the more expensive stuff, or the really, really old stuff like Antiquities, Arabian Nights, these kind of things. Don't get me started on Arabian Nights, folks. I heard a lot of you talking, a lot of other content creators talking about it, a lot of you were talking about it to me personally, Arabian Nights, that they want to get more cards before, because they recognize they are disappearing from the market. And I don't want to start like FOMO or whatever. If I say they start disappearing, it can take 2-3 more years. But there will be a point, and I'm very sure and I'm very confident about that, there will be a point that these cards are really, really difficult to get. you still can get a Black Lotus, of course, but you pay 20,000 euros for it. And we all can't afford that. At least, let's say 99% of us probably can't afford that. And if you can, very happy for you. I just bought a Mishra's Workshop for 2,800 bucks. As you know, I told you in my last video. So, and I got great comments about it that I'm showing off and these kind of things. But I saved up for that card for months. I sold a lot of stuff to finance it. Traded in old stuff I'm not using. So it's all relative. It's not that we got that money lying around for a high-end card. Different story, folks. Mishra's Workshop is awesome. Other cards are awesome, but in general, Antiquities is an awesome set. Make sure, if you have got certain Antiquities cards, like the Workshop was really high on my list, and even if I can complete the set before the end of the year, I think I'm confident I can complete it down the road, because like cards like the Workshop and Candelabra of Taurus, to me personally, Taurus Coffin, Power Artifact, Transmute Artifact, I'm a big fan of Power Artifact. These are cards that will be very, very difficult to get, getting more and more expensive. I wouldn't be surprised if Power Artifact moves up to like 500, 600 bucks, maybe even 1,000 bucks in a couple of years, because it's such an awesome underrated card. And if I would have the money to spare, I see one here and there for 220 to 250. If I had the money, I would buy into Power Artifact. I like the card, I like the artwork, and I like the power level of the card. It's very strong in my opinion. Folks, Brothers War, Antiquities, my Antiquities collection. It's shaping up nicely. Wanted to talk about that today on Collection Thursday. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for listening. Stay healthy, stay frosty. I talk to you next time, folks. Bye bye.